What's up? It's Brian Quakenbush, and we're back in the blues bunker. We're going to study some blues today, or not blues, study some chords today that you can start out on your guitar playing. Going to be looking at the chord of G and the chord of D. They're not that hard of chords to play. They're not the easiest in the world, but they're not the hardest either. But let's try to get into it right quick. First thing we want to go through is your hand here. We want to count out the fingers. We've got finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger. We're going to use that to kind of go by as I call out which fingers go on which string. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 for your strings that are going to go with your fingers and strings. Okay, so let's get together here, and our first chord is going to be G, and it's not that hard of a chord, but it's not that easy of a chord. So what you want to do for the G chord, you want to take your first finger, put it on the 5th string of the 2nd fret. Then you want to take your middle finger, put it on the 3rd fret, the 6th string, the top string, the low E. Then you want to take your 3rd finger, your ring finger, put it on the 1st string, the high E, and the 3rd fret. And you strum it. And that's the chord of G. You see that? I know it's kind of hard to see. So your first finger goes on the 2nd string, the 5th string, the 2nd fret, right there. Your middle finger goes on the 6th string, the 3rd fret, and your ring finger goes on the 1st string on the 3rd fret. And you strum it just like that. Now there's also there's some variations to this chord and to all chords, but to this G chord, sometimes in order to make it sound like you're playing a 12 string, it sounds like that on the acoustic anyway. If you take that middle finger, put it on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret, and you take your pinky finger and put that on the 1st string of the 3rd fret, kind of changes the sound a little bit. Kind of makes it more full, I think. Listen to this. As opposed to this. So just by changing those two fingers and adding that one string, the 2nd string, you get a totally more full, crisp sound. And if you were playing it on an acoustic, you could tell that you were getting the 12 string effect, I'll call it. And I suppose it sounds kind of good on the electric too. But that's your G string. Your G string, right? Your G chord, the chord of G. A lot of songs start off in this chord. So once again, as your first finger on the 5th string of the 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 6th string of the 3rd fret, and your ring finger on the 1st string of the 3rd fret, I'm sorry. And that's your G chord. So you want to work on that until the next video, which is next week. It'll either be Thursday or Friday. But you work on that, and that's the G chord. It's real easy to do. Once you get the hang of it, you can do it in your sleep. Even if you work on the other version of the chord. So that G chord, that's a pretty chord. however you play it. Now, I'm going to try to go ahead and do the D chord. I'm not wearing my neck brace tonight. I just took it off for the video because that thing gets hot, and these lights are also hot. So, you may have heard my little puppy dog yawn just now. Okay, but the D chord, very simple chord. And it sounds good, and you might have heard me playing it as we were coming into the program tonight. So, what you want to do for the D chord is take your first finger, put it on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret. Okay, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Take your middle finger, put it on the 1st string on the 2nd fret. Okay, then you take your middle finger, put it on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret, and you've got your D chord. Okay? And that's a nice chord. It's also a movable chord. But that's your D chord. 1st finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, middle finger, or your 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 1st string, and your middle finger, your ring finger or 3rd finger goes on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret. That's your D chord. So we've learned G and we've learned D. When you're strumming the G chord, you can play all 6 strings. And you want to get to where you can sound each string sounds out. And then we did the D chord. You want to play the first 5 strings on that one. Play that top string, it doesn't sound right. So you want to play the first 5 strings from top to bottom, 5 strings. So we want to get those right. D chord, G chord, and if you get them, you can start strumming with them. So. Now I know this is how you'll do if you're a beginner. You'll get this, you'll stop, and you will get the D chord, then you'll strum it again. It's okay to keep playing, keep strumming the strings, even if you're having a hard time getting the chord to sound out. It's okay. Back and forth in between them. Just keep strumming and just strum slow. And even if you have to do it like this, like that, just keep strumming, just slow and easy. It's always good to do it slow and easy until you get it. See, I'm getting some feedback on my amp tonight for some reason from outside. Maybe it's UFO trying to contact us. It almost sounds like Morse code. Well, that don't, but anyway, that's what you want to do. Try to get the G and the D chord down, and until next week, and we'll work on some more chords. Probably work on the C chord next week. And then you'll be able to play a ton of songs just by those 3 chords. Okay, so G and D. G and D. Work on those two chords. As always, leave your comments down below. Let me know what kind of guitar you're playing. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer those for you as best I can. And also, I was talking on my last video, I couldn't think of the name of one of the amps I was using. This here is a Silvertone amp. You got them from Sears back in the 50s and 60s. And I think it was $119 back then. This thing's got a big old 15-inch speaker in it. And, I mean, it plays well. That's what we were playing off of tonight. Just this one, I think. Yep. Just the Silvertone amp tonight. And this thing will just play until it busts. I don't know when it's going to bust. You know, it just plays forever. Okay, G, D, G, and D. Work on that, and till next week, coming to you from the Blues Bunker, this is Brian Q. Keep working on your guitar playing, and it'll come to you, I promise. Talk to you next week. Thank you.